Southern Girl Knits, episode 13. I think my cat just passed by. To those of you returning, yay, welcome back. And to those of you who are new, thank you for joining me. I had my cats and my cat Percy has decided to join us, probably because I have all kinds of yummy, yarny goodness laying all around me. In fact, all the cats have come calling because I've opened up a box of wool that I want to show you. Exciting. So, I'm Tish. I'm your host. I'm trying really hard to cut down on the glare that is on my glasses. This has come to my attention that it's so bad and I can't figure out how to fix it. I've adjusted lighting, everything. I don't know. I'm working on it though. So I'm Tish. You can find me on Ravelry as TishKnits33, and you can find me on Instagram as TishKnits. And let's jump right in. We have prize winners. I closed the thread yesterday because I thought I was going to record yesterday, and then realized that my package didn't come. I was waiting on a package for my sweater yarn. And it didn't come. So I was so sad. So I decided to wait until today to see if the yarn would be here because I wanted to show you guys because I'm super, super excited. Like seriously excited. And sure enough, let me see. Okay, the cat's in my way. My mail lady, Wendy, just dropped it off. And yay me, I have yarn. So let's see, where do I want to start? I'm thinking if I start with the yarn and I put it away, maybe the cat will leave me alone. I don't know. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so I decided that we're going to do a cowl, a sweater cowl, and it's for purely selfish reasons that I chose to do a sweater cowl, because I need y'all's help to knit this sweater to completion. Seriously, I need you to motivate me, to help me, to keep me on track, just to cheer me on. And as a thank you, I'm going to have some great prizes for this. Some hand spun, some other yarn. We'll see, right? We'll see, but I will find some good stuff. I know, Percy, I know. It's kind of like having a kid right now. The cats never want your attention until they want your attention, and then that's it. You have to give them your attention. So, okay, back to the yarn, or rather the cowl. So, I picked the Stroker by Ysolda Teague. Yes. I am super, super excited about it. That's how you spell it down here, right there, if you're going to look for the pattern. I think it's also linked in last week's, or it's linked in the cowl on Ravelry. In the Southern Girl Knits group, there's a link for this. If you decide you want to knit this sweater, you don't have to. You can knit any sweater that you want, you know, whatever you want to knit. Go for it. I picked this one because it looked easier than what I've chosen in the past, I should say, because like I've chosen the kind that you knit in pieces and seam together. That doesn't work. So this is like a bottom up, knit the sleeves, join them, and then do the pretty Fair Isle stranded, whatever that is, yoke. And I even picked colors very similar to what she picked. The only problem is, like, okay, so I picked it's the, I guess, Letlopi is how you say this. It's what the pattern calls for. It's an Icelandic wool. I don't even think it's a wool blend. I just think it's like straight up wool. And since I can't read whatever language this is written in, I have no clue. Yeah, no clue. I know it's wool. It's 100% wool. It feels like it. You can tell. You can tell. It has that feel to it. It's an Aran weight yarn, which honestly, I guess I thought would be bigger. I thought it would be a little chunkier maybe, but it just looks like a worsted weight yarn to me. I don't know. But it's lovely. It's kind of has that, yeah, heathered. I guess heathered would be the word I'm looking for. That heathered look to it. So I needed to pick 2 contrasting colors. In the pattern, you can see she picked a light gray and a yellow. And I didn't want to do yellow, so I did pink. So where she has yellow, I will do pink. And then I picked a lighter gray. In fact, I thought I'd pick the same gray that she picked, and I guess I clicked the wrong button because this is the light gray that I picked for the contrast, and this is the gray for the sweater. Yeah. Not a lot of contrast there, right? So, yeah. What I decided to do was that, because you really don't use that light gray a whole bunch, and I still have a bunch of that Rowan Creative worsted in my stash from the hat that I knit, and you only need like, oh gosh, like 10 grams? I don't know, not a lot. You don't need a lot. So I think I'm going to use this because I think that would be a lovely contrast. So yeah, this is my sweater. I'm so excited. In fact, it's like Box O Wool. And I ordered it from Craftsy. I didn't even know that you could order yarn from Craftsy, right? I thought it was like all classes and stuff. And when I went to Ravelry I bought the pattern and clicked on the link of the yarn, and you know how it shows you like you can buy it from here, it gives you a list, and Craftsy was in the list. So I clicked check price, and oh my gosh, they had some kind of like super duper sale going on for this yarn. I paid like $3.24 for a skein of yarn. Like the whole sweater with tax and shipping and everything cost me like 40 bucks. What? Jackpot! Totally helped me sell that to my husband when I told him I was going to knit another sweater. I'm like, but babe, seriously, it's like, that's the price I'd pay if I went and bought a sweater from the Gap. He's so on to me. Speaking of good mail days, I also got my Interweave knits for this month. Haven't had time to go through it. Looks like it is, oh, it's the spring. It's the spring edition. So lots of lovely short sleeve sweaters and shawls. Ooh, that's very pretty. I've been in the mood to knit a shawl. I don't know why. I've just got like, I do that. You know, you ever do that? You just like really want to knit. Like the other day, I decided I just wanted to have a hat. I needed, not me personally need a hat. I just wanted a hat on my needles. I don't know what it was. So I went and cast on a hat. It was kind of crazy like that. So, anyway, Stroker, the cowl is going to start February 14th. So get your yarn, get your patterns, get ready to cast on. I'm kind of glad that this came a little early because I'm going to do the proper thing and I am going to swatch. I'm going to do it the right way. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. Right? I'm going to swatch and get gauge. I'm determined. So, and that will be living in my Rainstorm Studios sweater bag with the pretty window. So yes, super excited about that. I hope that all of you will join me. Or at least some of you. I'm excited because Knitting Samurai is also having a sweater cowl in her group. I think she started in mid-January, and I believe hers ends in February. Maybe the end of February? I'm not sure. But either way, she's going to be joining us in this as well because she said she is on the like in a sweater mode, which is so funny because I just watched her last episode and Steph, I don't know if you watch all of my podcasts, but if you're watching this one, what you have done with that Miranda, see, I would have frogged it and quit so long ago. I admire your perseverance because seriously, you have had to drop back and knit those cables and done so much negative knitting and, oh girl, I'm telling you, I'm not that dedicated. I hope and pray that does not happen. Well, it shouldn't. I don't have any cables to worry about. I mean, it's basically just, you know, in the round knitting. Okay, all the cats are here. So, yeah. I hope I don't have the problems you're having with the Miranda. I'm hoping by the next episode you finish the Miranda and have moved on. It's giving you so much trouble. But it does look like it's going to be ever so lovely. So, speaking of finished objects, okay, so I decided, we talked about the ingot that I was knitting and how I didn't want it to be as long and drapey as the ones that I had seen in other people's podcasts and on other people's pattern, on their Ravelry pages. So I went ahead and bound off, and it's still, look how really wide it is. And seriously, I did, from this point on, you're supposed to knit 7.5 inches. I obviously did like 2 and then stopped. And it is exactly what I wanted. It makes me happy. I actually wore it this past weekend. Oh, and it matches my hat. That's the same yarn. Yes. So I really, really like it. It can do the double duty, you know, for when it's really cold, which it has not been. So I wore it more for a little bit of warmth and a little bit of fashion statement this weekend at the debate tournament that I went to. Our local high school, actually, they hosted the tournament this weekend. It was amazing. There were almost 30 schools there, 300 or 400 students participating. So yeah, it was pretty awesome. I got to judge a lot of debate rounds, which is what I enjoy doing because it's awesome. These kids are brilliant. They blow my mind all the time. I really wish I took a little bit of video, but I can't show it because they're all under 18 and I don't have their permission or their parents' permission to post it. Not that I'm, you know, big enough that anybody's ever going to see this, but I don't want to violate their privacy regardless. So, but if you ever get to go Google, you know, like high school debate, maybe you could see. They talk like 90 to nothing. It's really hard to understand them unless you know what you're listening for, but it's amazing. So, what else? Oh God, we had such a busy weekend. So we had the debate tournament and both of my kids had to be there because my, Lainey is in 8th grade, so she's in JV forensics, so she actually participated. And then Will is in 7th grade, and he's in forensics as well, but he's in intro. So he was there to observe, and that wool, excuse me. He was there to observe and do timekeeping, and so he got to see a few debate rounds, and has decided that he definitely wants to do debate. Yay. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then his birthday was also this weekend. My middle child turned 13 years old. It just doesn't feel, it feels like I was just bringing him home from the hospital. He was my teeny tiniest little baby. He was so tiny. He was like 6 pounds when we brought him home. And he's 13. Oh. In fact, I've got a picture that I will, put in here. That's him eating his king cake because it's Mardi Gras season and his birthday falls right in the middle of carnival season. So my mom shipped us a king cake from Louisiana and that was his birthday cake. His birthday cake was a king cake. So in the picture you see he got the baby. And not that I engineered that happening at all. So it was, and then I have another picture of my youngest son that I'll put here. Yeah. It was craziness this weekend, to say the least. We started doing this, I can't remember how long ago, but we get balloons. The kids are upstairs. So the upstairs belongs to the children. Their rooms are up there, their bathroom, their own living room. It's all upstairs, right? So what we do is after they go to sleep, we blow up just packs of balloons and just their rooms, the living room, everything is just, there's balloons everywhere. So needless to say, we spent 3 or 4 days playing with balloons, popping balloons, shenanigans, as the fat squirrel would say. Tons of shenanigans going on this weekend. So, yeah. And then, and in the midst of all that, I managed to finish that book that I told you that I was going to start. I told you I was going to start reading that Jennifer McMahon book, The One I Left Behind. Yeah, that's my show notes. I'm not like... The One I Left Behind. I finished that book in like a day and a half. It was so good. It was it was a serial killer book, but it was I don't know how to explain it without giving it away if you want to read it. It was a really good book. It's a mystery book. But it also, the way she writes, she always writes past and present and how those two interconnect to lead you to the end. And so after I read that, I picked up another one of her books, The Island of Lost Girls. And I just started that one. I'm only a little ways into this one. It's about a little girl that gets abducted. And I'm not sure how that ties into the past yet, but that's how her books usually go, past, present. So we'll see. So far, it's really, really good. I really like her. Jennifer McMahon. She spells her name very strangely. It's McMahon. Yeah. Can't read my own handwriting. That's kind of sad. So, yeah, those are really good books. And, oh, we also had Super Bowl Sunday. Good grief. Could we have fit more things into one weekend? Jeez Louise. So my husband, and that was also my son's birthday was that day. So we celebrated that day and had all of our fun that day. And then my husband made crawfish etouffee, and we sat down and watched the entire game. Oh my gosh. I don't know who you were rooting for. Okay, so I'm a Saints fan, obviously. I'm from Louisiana. I'm a Saints fan. So I was kind of, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Like, I'm not upset that the Patriots won. I was rooting for the Seahawks because I really like Russell Wilson. Like, I adore him. I really do. I adore him. But Tom Brady is Tom Brady, right? Yeah. So, and then he married to Giselle. Yeah, I have to say, in that relationship, I'm thinking Giselle's got to be the lucky one. I don't know. Anyway, so that turned out to be an amazing game. I don't know if you watch football, but wow. It was awesome. I'm ready for next football season already. But it's over for now, but that's okay. Because The Walking Dead's starting back, so that'll give me something to watch. And let's see, what else? Oh, I'm going to put a picture in right here. That is a picture of my cousin, had her 4th little girl. Her name is Stella, and that is the hat that I knit for her. It's a little bit big. That's why Mom has the brim folded up, and you can't quite see it, but it's a high sparkle yarn. It's white with tons and tons of sparkles in it. And she outgrew the newborn hat that I knit for her, and I wanted her to have a little snow hat because it's cold, because they live in Colorado, where it's properly cold. And so she's now has her little hat and made it its way to her and is on her little head. I'm thinking I might need to knit her some socks, because I did not learn how to knit until after my kids were much bigger. They weren't babies anymore after they just weren't. So I've never knit baby socks. So I noticed that a lot of people that knit baby socks don't put heels in them. They just do tube socks. So, yeah. Maybe I need some advice on that. For any of you that knit baby socks that don't have access to the baby. So I have no access to her feet to see how big they are. And not to mention, I know baby feet grow really fast. So is that why tube socks are the way to go? Somebody needs to tell me these things. So, yeah. Let me know. Speaking of socks, my dad's socks, they're almost done. By next week, I will have finished socks to show you. I am done with that. I am on the Afterthought heel. I'm actually on the Afterthought heel on both socks. Whoop! I'm throwing them around. So, I'm on the heels. I'm almost done. This brings me great joy. That is, you know, as much as I hate to knit boy socks sometimes, like they just become a little bit of a slog, there is immense satisfaction in finishing boy socks. I think that's why I keep torturing myself and casting on more. Yeah, that's got to be it, right? So, let's see. What else do I have? Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm going to lean out of frame for a second. Sorry about that. Oh, drug the sock along with it. Speaking of boy socks, in my bag that my dear friend made for me, which I love. It's awesome. I was in the middle of a row when the mail came and got excited and started setting up for podcasting and didn't even put it away. I showed my husband, I cast these on. I showed them to my husband and he's like, "Oh, I like those colors. I want those." So, how do you say no to that, right? I mean, you guys that follow me on Instagram know that he's pretty awesome. I mean, seriously, he's a pretty awesome guy. So, yeah, I'm not going to say no. So, I cast these on. Actually, I love these colors. Look at this. Let's see. And I'm doing the little slip stitch where you do, when it changes color, the little slip stitch color change. And, I love this. I love these colors. This is the Knit Picks. No, the tag's in here. Yeah. It's the Felici and the Rustic Cabin colorway. So I have both of those going for him. And they're coming along nicely. I have a feeling that a lot of this is going to take a back seat once I cast on the sweater. So I don't know. I guess we'll see because we'll see. I also I told you that I needed more purse knitting because I finished the boy socks. Remember the cute little striped boy socks that I knit? So I needed purse knitting. And I actually brought this to the tournament with me and knit on this for a little while at the tournament. It's the Magic and Moonshine that I was knitting the cowl with and decided, nope. So I decided to knit daughter a pair of socks because this child, seriously, I swear if I knit her a pair of socks every day, it wouldn't be enough. She loves hand knitted socks. So I cast on her some socks and I think it's an 8x2 rib. Nothing fancy because it's my go-to car sitting around hanging out knitting in my purse. So they'll take a while. You probably won't see these a whole bunch until they're almost done because, you know, sometimes my purse knitting will take 2 months to finish a pair of socks, if not longer, because it just depends on how busy I am and how much running around I do. So, last thing on the needles. I told you I wanted a hat on my needles. Don't know why, but I had to have it. So, I pulled out my Rainstorm Studio bag, which a lot of you that did the giveaway, said that you loved this combination. It's awesome. And just in case you don't know, those are little yarn balls. How cute is that? And then the red at the bottom is a knit fabric. Well, it's fabric and the picture on it is like knit stitches. And then it's the double bag window. So, and then of course she sent me the pull that matched. Which I've noticed a lot of people I like it as a zipper pull, but I've noticed that a lot of people use these because it's the little lobster clasp. Let me take this off. It's the little lobster clasp that's on there. And I've noticed that people use those as progress keepers. So like when you're doing something like the sleeve of a sweater and it feels like it's going on and on forever and you're not making any progress, putting that on there and knitting around, that way when you come back to it or when you're done, you can see, oh, it felt like I knit forever and didn't accomplish anything, but I actually just did like 3 inches of my sleeve. So I thought that was kind of cool. Let me show you the hat real quick because I actually have more to say about that. So I cast on a hat for my my middle child. It's just a knit 1-per-1. It looks very similar to the one that I did for my husband. It's going to be a slouch hat just like that. It's out of the Vicky Howell sheepy wool that she has at Joann's. Actually, I think you can find it at Joann's and Michael's. I think you can find it at both places. It's in the charcoal gray colorway. Nothing fancy, just wanted a hat. But speaking of the Progress Keepers, I found a new blog, a video podcast, called A Homespun House. And I know that I am like way behind. I told you, I'm like that girl that's like always behind on everything. I'm never up to date on anything that's happening. So I came across her video podcast and I love it. She is American. She lives in Germany, and from what I can gather, she's been there for a while. She has a little girl, and I think she's pregnant now. Like I said, I just started the podcast, so I haven't went back and watched like a whole bunch. But she also sells bags and those little Progress Keepers, and that's where I first heard about it. She was saying that she started using that on a sweater that she was knitting. She felt like she wasn't making any progress, so she put the Progress Keeper on and knit, and that way when she came back to it, she could say, oh, I managed to knit an inch, and I thought I didn't do anything, and it kind of helped. It's a self-motivator. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. It's like a self-motivator. So I'm thinking about going to her page. I don't know if she has an Etsy shop. I think she sells directly off of her webpage, and order one of her bags and a Progress Keeper because they're super cute. They're adorable. And I love her stuff. And I like her backstory. Actually, when I found her, I watched the newest episode, and I went back and watched episode 1 so I can catch her story, you know, hear what her story was. And her story is very, very interesting, and I like it. And she just seems like a very sweet person. So, yeah, that's a new video podcast if you're up for checking out somebody new. And, okay, I think I've made you wait long enough. We could do the drawings for the bags. So we had this bag from Rainstorm Studio, and it has 3 skeins of Knit Picks palette in it, and it also has one of the zipper pulls or Progress Keeper, however you want to use it, is up to you. And the winner for that is, let's see, I did the random number generator, and I did it ahead of time and just took snapshots of it. That way you didn't have to wait. Is number 44. And that is Knit Pick 56, who is Terry. Yeah. So Terry, send me a private message. Let me know you saw this and give me your address, and I will get that out to you hopefully on Saturday. I can get that out in the mail. And the next winner was for the Stitching You and More podcast. She had this great little owl keychain, which I would totally put on my knitting bag because it's just so cute. I mean, how cute is that? Amanda, I need one of these. I want one in pink. I need a pink and brown and, no, pink and gray and white. It just needs to be pink. I need one for my yarn bag. So the winner for that was number 14, which is Pattern Whisperer, Jerry. So Jerry, send me a private message, and I will get this out in the mail to you as well. So fun things, right? All kinds of fun things. We've got like sweater cowls going on. I've got all kinds of things on the needles, reading, crazy weekend. Yeah, this is like crazy podcast. I always name the podcast afterwards because, you know, I never know what's going to come out of my mouth. Ever. I have very little censor. Like, seriously, it's pretty bad. So, but I think that that's all that I have for you guys. As if that's not enough, right? I feel like I've bombarded you with things. So, get out there, join the group on Ravelry, join our cowl. I'd really like to have as many people as possible because, you know, I'm going to need all the help I can get. And I'm going to start swatching this week so that I make sure that I do that properly. In fact, I'll probably use that gray that doesn't match. That way I don't have to break into the other yarn. Makes sense to me, right? And what's left over. And I ordered a good bit, so I'll probably have enough left over to make something like a matching hat. I guess we'll see. And until then, let's see. What is today? It is Wednesday the 4th, so we cast on in 10 days. And I will record hopefully before that, or I might put off and record on that day so we can cast on that day together. We'll see how it works out. And until then, I hope you guys have a great week, an awesome week, and enjoy what you're knitting. And don't forget, always be awesome. Bye-bye now.